has been a hot topic on our email and on my blog all morning. Oprah, of course, has been on the stump for Barack Obama, but she says that she will not be interviewing Republican vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin anytime soon. Is that biased?
Cal Thomas has an opinion on that. He's a syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor, as well as pundit mom Joanne Bamberger. First off, Cal, what do you think about Oprah doing this? Doesn't this help the Republican cause that that people need? You need to help Sarah, that everyone's attacking her?
Absolutely. I think that the left fears Sarah Palin the way vampires fear the daylight or the cross. This is a tough woman, a hockey mom, a Walmart woman who connects with middle America, a steel magnolia. She is everything the left supposedly wants. Smart, articulate, good-looking, strong woman, and yet her policies are something the left doesn't want. If I were the Republican Party, what I'd do is I'd have a bunch of conservative women picketing Harpo Studios in Chicago saying, let her on. I mean, this is a woman who drew 37 million viewers during the Republican convention. And as you said earlier, she has added energy to John McCain. Imagine that, an older guy being energized by a younger woman.
Hard to imagine, Cal. Joanne, let me turn to you. Obviously, it's Oprah's show. It's Oprah's prerogative. Whoever she wants to have on, we can't argue that. But it sounds as though Oprah is saying that the country's first pregnant man is more newsworthy than the first GOP female vice presidential pick.
Well, I don't think that's what she's saying at all. That's sort of a non-starter. It would be so great if Oprah would have every candidate on her show. I think that would be a great service for people. But, you know, in all honesty, Oprah is an entertainment show. She's not a news show. And really the question that I think maybe we ought to be looking at from a different angle is, if she even got invited, would Sarah Palin go on? I mean, so far, she's not going on any news shows. And even yesterday on Fox News Network, Chris Wallace, thank you so much. Chris Wallace was asking the McCain campaign why they weren't putting Sarah Palin out there.
Okay.
So, well, I think it would be a great thing if she would go on Oprah.
Joanne,
it's not her obligation.
Gotcha. Just stick around 1 second for us, guys. We'll continue our debate. All right, we're back again with Cal Thomas, syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor, and pundit mom Joanne Bamberger. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Okay, here's what Oprah says. Her justification for not having Sarah Palin on. She says it would be disingenuous to have her on because everyone knows basically that she supports Barack Obama. She says there have been absolutely no discussions about having Sarah Palin on my show at the beginning of this presidential campaign. When I decided I was going to take my first public stance in support of a candidate, I made the decision not to use my show as a platform for any of the candidates. I agree that Sarah Palin would be a fantastic interview, and I would love to have her on after the campaign is over. Cal, if we're reading between the lines here, is part of the motivation, this has been suggested by lots of people on my blog, that she doesn't want to heighten Sarah Palin's popularity by having her on?
I don't think there's any other conclusion to reach. Look, as suggested earlier before the break, it may actually accrue to the benefit of Sarah Palin. It increases her mystery. It increases her power. If Oprah thinks that just by having her on her show would give her a tremendous advantage, that says even more about her persuasive skills. Look, she's had Barack Obama on twice, once before he was a candidate and I believe once since. Everybody knows she's in the tank for him. What can hurt? She has a mostly female audience. Right. Women want to know more about this woman. Sure. Heck, so do men. A huge rating would accrue to her. What's not to like about this, unless her politics has overwhelmed her professional judgment, sure, which in this case it appears to have done.
And she'd hate to help her. Hey, Joanne, you're known as the pundit mom. You've got to feel in your heart of hearts that it was a huge mistake for members of the mainstream media last week to question whether or not this working mom from Alaska could possibly be a mother and also hold a high office as well. That was a big miscue, wouldn't you say?
I think it's a misrepresentation to say that the media has characterized her that way. I think there's been a lot of discussion both online and in the media about her motherhood, but I don't think anybody is criticizing her for being a mother. Certainly there are people, women of all persuasions, who may wonder if she can do it, but I don't think that should be an issue.
But just by the way they phrase the question, do you really think she's able to do it all, to do both of the things? And we heard that on MSNBC, surprise, surprise, with Norah O'Donnell. We heard it from CNN. We heard it on, I believe, ABC last week. So it was out there, and people heard it.
Well, I suppose people have that question. It's not a question I have in my mind. Obviously, she's been doing it, and hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, she would do it. She's been, governor of Alaska, but really, I think the question is, we need to learn more about her to really know if she can do it. Whether she can do it or not has nothing to do with her motherhood. It has to do with her qualifications and her background and what her policies are, and that's why I think this Oprah discussion is maybe a bit off the mark. I want to know why Sarah Palin won't come out and talk to the news media.
Yeah,
she's coming out on Thursday.
Yeah, she's about to. She just agreed to a one-on-one interview, sit down with Charlie Gibson on Thursday. So we will.
I did read about that, so that's a good start.
Yep. All right. Joanne Bamberger, Cal Thomas, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.